I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
And this is Open My Eyes by 40 Watt Sun. This is for the big homie Neil. He's real. How does it feel? Didn't know I could do that, did you? Vincent is multi-talented.
I was trying to think of something to add, and all I could think of was seal, and there was no way to put that in there.
For timely, topical, political commentary, you can hit us up in Middle America with Vin and Sori. We're going to have a special guest on that show pretty soon, inshallah. Also, there are multiple ways to get your song reviewed, dear listener. My favorite way is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon, where you will meet the mighty Kellandros. I was up talking to Kellandros last night, making sure the big homie's okay. You know, this whole COVID nonsense. He's one of these essential workers, so just checking up on my brother. So, the mighty Kellandros, the mighty Ian, the beautiful ladies of the village, the beautiful pony, the beautiful Leah of the village, all these wonderful people, dear listener. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. Right now, $5 tier and above are listening to the first 30. Make that the first 40 seconds of the super secret song that Super Saiyan Sori and Vincent and the rest of the band members are in. Jay, Sarcast,
It's coming along.
Doc in the house. It's coming along really, really well. So $1 gets you all that at the beginning, and then as the tiers increase,
No, $5 gets you that thing.
Well, $5 gets you the super secret song and above, etc., etc. If you do something like this, so what Neil did. If you don't want to work with an alliance and you're a filthy capitalist like Sori and you want to hop, skip, and jump to the head of the line, then you get to do this. $125 at the gate gets you in. You skip in front of everybody. You don't work with a team. You don't work with an alliance. You get to determine by your lonesome what song we listen to, and that's how we ended up with this particular.
Power. What is it on? You remember on Aladdin when he's like Dios?
Yeah.
And then it's like ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. Jafar. Shout out to the big homie Jafar. Okay, so and then if you do this, then obviously you get access to the early release of the song and things of that nature.
Access. That's such a good word.
There you go. All right, here we go. 40 Watt Sun. Open My Eyes. Let's go.
Here we go.
Do me. Do. That's right.
Turn that up.
Turn it up.
That is one of those songs.
I wish they would have done that acoustic part in the song.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Go ahead. What were you going to
It's
say?
one of those songs that I'm like, I like this, and you're like, nah.
No, I actually like the song.
You did?
Yeah, it reminds
Well, how come
me
when I show you slow songs, you don't like them?
because they're not metal. I don't know. The songs that you listen to, they're all, you know, those pop loves. They're all corny. No, I don't know.
How rude. Next time I'm gonna send it to Neil and be like, show this to Vin and see if he likes it. You'll be like, oh wow, that's a great one. I'll be like, it's mine, bitch!
I would know. I would know. I'm like, oh, this is one of Sori's songs she listens to. I'll be in the shower, like, coming up with lyrics for our song, and then you'll be out there listening to some, you know, ridiculous pop song.
It's not a ridiculous pop song. I like slow, sad songs. I don't even know why you're categorizing it as pop.
I like slow, sad songs with a guitar in it. That actually has guitar. Has some sort of soul to
Okay,
it.
whatever.
Has some sort of soul
I
to
see
it.
you're in the mood to insult me.
I'm not insulting you. I'm just insulting your music. You didn't write the songs.
But I like them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you don't write songs. Huh?
Why are you seeing? You are in a mean mood.
Huh? You understand? A little bit of a dig.
It's a very much of a dig. All right.
I like the song.
This is a relationship song.
Relationship song, well, which is not something I would expect from a doom metal song
Doom?
or a band. Yeah, they're doom.
Oh.
It's what it says anyway.
Literally every time I think that a song is a relationship song, I just wait for you to say, no, it's actually about
No, it is.
drugs and a car crash and a mother dying and
No, this is-
children being left alone. And
Well, a mother and child is a relationship. That is a relationship.
yes, but I always think, oh, this is going to be a fun conversation. And then it turns into sorrow and...
You're just saying that because of the song we did yesterday or whatever.
Yeah.
The
First of all, I wasn't feeling good
Hauser
for that
song.
one. But secondly, on top of that, like, I was really disappointed that it wasn't a relationship song. I cannot
It
tell you.
was a relationship
No,
song.
but not like I thought.
But it was.
Look, someone else in the section said they thought it was a
a
makeup
song about makeup sex.
Makeup
right?
sex.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that would have been more interesting. I don't want anything
More
sad.
interesting than social
I
commentary.
don't want sad. Okay.
Anyway, Open My Eyes, 40 Watt Sun. This is obviously a relationship song. What did it make you think about?
Well, what do you mean? What did it make me think of? Any relationship song makes you think of us.
Okay.
So the places we've been these past 7 years seem so far, and by so far it was like so far from where we were, like I can't talk about it too much because I'm gonna end up crying because I'm already having one of those kind of days. But like what my life was, what it is now, like everything is so different. And you and I were friends for so many years, and like that. I think sometimes like, oh, I don't want to cry. I think that sometimes like when you're friends, like you have just like that friendship, that closeness, that coolness, like whatever. But then, you know, you get married and you have a boatload of kids and you're interracial, you're integrating, there's so many different things and there's so many complexities. And so like, sometimes like I'll feel kind of sad because I'm like, I just wish that we could like, sometimes we have time to kind of like get away and just like be friends, like that morning together where we just drove around and stuff like that. Like we have time where we can, but a lot of times it's like, you know, it's not like kids that haven't been through difficult things. So like kids already take up a lot of time, but kids that have been through difficult times take up even more time and more energy and more, you know. So there might be a night where we would actually have fun and be laughing together, but there's some sad thing that the kids talked about, and so it changes the dynamic of the night. And so it's just, you know, like I kind of thought of that. I thought of, you know, the sad aspect of it, but also the good aspect of, you know, things, you know, we also have grown a lot in the last 7 years. well, it hasn't been 7 years, but I'm just looking at, I'm like using that number to be like the last few years. Like it's, you know, there's been a lot of growth and stuff like that too. So, I don't know. You talk. I don't want to.
Yeah, this actually
holding a lump in my throat.
This actually reminded me of that summer that we had when we were just friends and you were in trouble and you were having a hard time and I was trying to get you out of your, you know, things were really, really difficult for you emotionally with a lot of things, and I was trying to get you out of that slump, and it was really, really difficult. Like I saw this as a relationship song, but not in the, you know, typical way of a relationship. You know, when people say relationship, they're talking about like some exclusive, you know, going steady, whatever people call it, you know. But I just interpret it as this can be, you know, I mean, you know, baby obviously is a term that gets used normally in certain types of relationships, not, you know, not that. But yeah, I just took it as that one, you know, summer we had where you were in trouble and, you know, I was trying to get you, you know, you have very, very expressive eyes, and at the time you were so dark and you were so sad that, you know, that was pretty hard to do and to deal with and to see, and you know, there were certain events that happened, but to me it was like an accumulation of a lot of things that, you know, that you were dealing with, and you were in a lot of trouble emotionally. So trying to, you know, in this particular song, it's like he's trying to like pay her back. You know, you made it easy for me to give myself up. You waited, you leaned out for me, and you never changed. And so and after all you did for me, what can I do? So it was kind of like he was trying to, you know, pay her back, you know, for her, you know, for what she did in his life, or what he did in his life. But now she was down and he was trying his damnedest to try to get her up and do for her what, you know, what happened with, you know, whatever. And, you know, please be happy, things of that nature. So
when he said that made me think of you.
What do you mean?
Well, because sometimes, like, I think, like, there's, you know, like I said, there's a lot going on. Also, you know, like, you have your struggles with depression and stuff like that, and, like, sometimes all those things compiled make me very sad. And, like, but I always feel like you want me to be happy.
Yeah.
So when that line came up, I thought of you.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, that's been kind of, that's been very, very important to me, you know, is you being happy, and, you know, so a lot of everything that I do is about, you know, want to make sure that you're happy, and then, you know, we've got a project going on, we've got goals and all those things, and you know, that's why, you know, a certain thing happened a couple days ago, and I was like, I wanted you to be, you know, and you're like, well, I feel like I'm making you a slave, and I was like, that damn guilt again, robbing all our happy moments. But yeah, you know, so you know, I think being able to love somebody like that, I think, is one of the best gifts in the world, and that's why I don't limit it to just this kind of relationship.
Yeah.
You know, like, because people tend to, you know, romanticize romance as like the only sort of valid or the pinnacle of all relationships. But I really do think deep friendships, like a lot of, probably 90% of the lyrics here can also apply to deep friendships. You know, my best friend in New York, like, we had that type of relationship with each other, you know. He was, you know, we picked each other up a lot, and we, I remember one particular time was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and stuff had went down at my house, or, you know, with my mom, and I was able to call him, and he was there at 2 or 3 in the morning, you know, and it was crazy because when he saw me and he saw like the condition I was in, he got emotional, and I didn't, you know, and he's like, what's wrong with you, you know, and you know, he took care of me, and, you know, and then we went to sleep, and then from his house we went to school, and, you know, we just kept it moving. So like, there are other relationships where a lot of this is valid too, where you're really invested in the life of the other person and all that. And we live in such a sexualized, crazy culture that, you know, I never told him like how important that was to me and how important he was to me because everything is so sexualized and dudes are scared of their, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so the song was like, if you can discipline yourself, because it's like, oh, the song's not going anywhere. It's like, well, one, it's the genre, and the other one is like, just discipline yourself and listen to what the guy is saying. And it was really interesting, cool, because he brought in some melody into it as well, which I was not expecting from, again, the genius is saying,
I know,
it's a doom metal song, and I can kind of see that because the tempo is very slow and things of that nature, and it kind of slogs and it doesn't really go anywhere. But that's the staple of doom metal. So,
I like his voice too.
Yeah, it was just a really, really good song, and it was very kind of naive and innocent because the lyrics are extremely simple, you know. And it was just like, hey, can you be happy? You may be happy. I'd like you to be happy. Can you be happy? I'll do anything you want. And you know, and like wanting to see, you know, brightness in her eyes and things of that nature. I just thought it was a really good song and a very, like I said, kind of a naive kind of way of like wanting the best for another person and you know, primarily made me think about me and you, particularly that one summer that you and I had that.
It's interesting because you were talking about that summer, which was about friendship, and then I was talking about now, but it was about friendship. So we both kind of got that friendship thing out of it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think friendship is a massively sacred relationship that I was listening to a sermon on Tim Keller. There's not a lot of sermons on friendship, but he basically was talking about David and Jonathan, and he was saying how you know, when you marry someone, there's a legal obligation. When you have kids, you have a familial obligation. Like, you're obligated to like those people. You're obligated to love those people. A friendship is a purely voluntary relationship of love, and that has no legal. There's never going to get to a point with a friendship where you sign a legal whatever. Right. Whereas with marriage, is like you're going towards that, but they're beautiful in their own ways. But he was just talking about the uniqueness of friendship in the human experience, where, you know, you can become friends with people outside of your tribe and things like that. It's just something, it's one of the things that makes this absolutely just unique, and it's an amazing thing. And so he was like, I can't believe there's not a lot of sermons on friendship, but there's, you know, beginning to end, you know, it's all over there. And obviously, you know, Abraham is called a friend of God, etc.
Right.
So,
right.
The song was ultimately about friendship to me, even though I know that it was probably more talking about a very, very specific type of relationship. What do you give it?
9.8.
Solid 9 for me. Very, very good song. Shout out to the big homie Neil. Shout out to the big homie Sori. Are you happy?
No, I feel like crying today.
She feels like crying. That's the baby's fault. Vin out.
Sorry, yo.
Gone.